All right, looks like I'm live. How's it going, guys? Happy Friday. TGIF, somebody said in the chat. I hear you. And it's actually a holiday weekend, so let me know what you guys are doing this weekend. You guys going to any cookouts, campfires, doing some shooting? How about that? That sounds like a good time. I definitely want to try to do some shooting this weekend if I can. Of course, as always, I have quite a bit of work to do too, so we'll see. Let's see who's in here tonight. I'm going to say hi to you guys, which is the part I always like to do at the beginning here. We've got JDV3. What's happening, man? Matt Morrison. What's happening now? I don't know, man. Everything's happening now. How you doing? I'm doing pretty good, man. Don Honecker. How's it going? How you doing, Don? A-Dubs. What's happening, man? Millbury's ready, and I'm ready finally myself. Daniel De Leon. What's happening, man? Don's going to share it to the Facebook group. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Troll 22001. How's it going, man? The Reptile guys. What's happening? Lil Rob 2030. He says, hello, mates. How's everyone doing? I hope they're all doing good. Let us know how you're doing, guys. RJL, what's up, man? MI Crafter, what's up? Mark Corby with a super chat right off the bat. Thank you, sir. He says, sorry to hear about the Lakeline barrel, but glad to hear all went well with the TX22. Yeah, I'll give you guys a couple quick updates on both. The Taurus TX22, I did the unboxing, and I've shot it along with 3 other people already. The footage has been recorded. I just need to edit it into video format. So you guys will be seeing some follow-ups with the TX22 maybe this weekend, if not next week. So, yeah. The Lakeline barrel. Yeah, I just put out an honest review, guys. I'm not going to keep dwelling on it because there's going to be an update video very soon. I will tell you this. I've already dealt with customer service, which I'm under the impression is the owner of Lakeline. We exchanged, let's see here. I emailed him twice. He emailed me twice back. And I've got another barrel that's going to be coming on the way. So we will definitely have some updates for you guys. So I will let you know. I'm going to do exactly what I told you guys I'm going to do. I'm going to do a review on the customer service and how that end of things worked out. And then hopefully, and I truly mean hopefully, I just have to say that because it's not like here yet, but hopefully the next time I review the barrel will be me dropping it in to at least my G3C, if not some of the other pistols, and then taking it out to the range, telling you guys how it feels, trying some muzzle devices, you know, maybe a suppressor, some different compensators. So yeah, I really look forward to getting into that part of, you know, the review for you guys, which is what the original review was gonna be, truly what I wanted it to be. And I'll tell you guys this, and then I'll conclude with the Lakeline barrel for now. Look, guys, I have my principles. I've told you guys from the beginning of this channel what the channel is gonna be, and the fact that I'm always just gonna shoot it to you guys straight, how it comes. Now, did it cross my mind to be like, oh man, I don't want to show this barrel like this? Maybe I should go ahead and just send it back, get a replacement, and then if the replacement's perfect, pretend that that one's good. Like, it crossed my mind, but for only about 10 seconds, and I was like, no, dude. You have to show people what you get, because here's the deal. I bought that just under my own personal name. I didn't tell them it was 2A EDU buying it. I didn't try to say, hey, I've got a channel that has a large number of Taurus fans on it and people that are really eager for this product. Make sure you give me a perfect one. Make sure you check it 4 times because I'm 2A EDU. I don't do that, just so you guys know. And this is proof of it right now. So I said, well, hold on a minute. I ordered this just as a regular dude because that's what I am. I'm a regular person, guys. I don't have any industry deals. There's people that are much smaller than me that do, and that's great, and they should. There's nothing wrong with that. But I personally don't, okay? I don't have it where people pay me money to do videos and things like that. Yeah, Bloody Wheels will send some spacers to the channel once in a while. I try to pay for them. He won't let me, but I tell you guys that, and I end up giving them away to you guys usually. Forge Tech will send me a couple holsters, but there's no quid pro quo. Look, they're basically saying, here's a holster. You don't have to do a video or not. There's no pay or anything like that. Same thing with Lakeline, but in this case, they didn't even know who I was. So I'm like, I have to show these guys. But if I do this video, here's how I have to do it. And this is the stream from last night, the premiere, if any of you guys didn't see it. I thought to myself, I have to do this video. I have to show them what I got. But my intention is not to try to dissuade anybody. My intention is most certainly not to say anything bad about Lakeline per se, because look, just as much as I give you guys feedback and give you guys info, you guys likewise do the same for me. And so many people have told me what a great company this is, how nice of a person the owner is. So I said, here's the answer. It's going to be a long video, but I just need to do the video fair. I need to show people the honest truth of what the barrel looks like, while at the same time not even giving anyone an inkling that I'm trying to bash Lakeline. Because I never wanted to begin with, and I didn't want it to come off that way. So that's why the video ended up being 50 minutes long. Now, here was the benefit also. Not only was I thorough and just went through what I was naturally feeling about the situation, while making sure that I wasn't trying to steer anybody in any direction, because I never try to do that here. I also thought it was pretty cool in a way that ended up being a 50-minute video, because in essence, I got to have it a premiere, which is basically a live stream. I had a blast hanging out with you all last night for almost an hour in the chat. You know, I was sitting there typing away. I was right there with you guys hanging out and looking at all the good talk, just like I get to do on Friday nights. So yeah, in a way I was like, oh crap, this video is too long. Who wants to sit and watch this? And then I'm like, I don't know. There's some nerdy people out here that might like it. Hold on, premiere, because I don't do those a lot. I get to hang out with ended up being there was a couple hundred of you at a time in there. I get to hang out with 200 friends tonight. Heck yeah. So it ended up being a positive thing. And like I said, I've gone back with a couple emails with, I believe he's the owner of Lakeline. I don't know him personally. And I think everything is going to be okay. So I'll just say that. I have to say I think, because we're just in the process. I will say this, though. It's a holiday weekend. We emailed a couple emails in the morning. Okay. I was busy working. I got back to him with my next email after business hours, and he responded this evening. So he's either working late or willing to take care of a customer from home. So that was pretty nice. So yeah, I don't really want to say anything more than that right now, because it would be hypothetical, but I'm in the process of working on getting another barrel. And of course there's a process, like, you know, sending the oil one back, but I'll do a follow-up video, guys. Nice short and sweet follow-up video reviewing the customer service, and then hopefully an awesome barrel that'll just drop right in. So yeah, and I also have some great friends of the channel that have been helping me out with different advice and stuff, different measuring. Some of you guys I'm finding out are QC engineers. People are like, I've worked in this type of industry for 15 years, somebody said even longer than that. Like I said, you guys are awesome. I'm not a math type of guy, you know. I'm not going to sit there and be able to, you know, do all the advanced measurements some of you all can. So that's why I did the video the way I did. Just good old common sense, moving the different barrels from the different slides. That's how it made sense in my mind. Now, for you mathematician type, you're like, dude, it's way easier than this. Just get the caliper out, measure this axis, that axis, get a height gauges out, get the feeler gauges out. I get it. You guys are a lot smarter than me when it comes to that, okay? But I might know some stuff you guys don't know. That's why we'll all work together, and in the end, we'll finally get it right. Let's get like 100 of us together here, and we'll come up with the answer, right? Okay, so I'm going to just guess what? I went on a tangent. Is this you guys' first time here? Because unless it's your first time, you're not surprised. Let me scroll back up. I'm going to miss some people now because I went off on a tangent and the chat skipped down. But let's see what I can do. Mateo's here, as always. Thanks for your help moderating, dude. I really appreciate it. And for all of you who help out with the admins for my Facebook group, you guys are appreciated also. The job doesn't pay anything, but you guys are awesome. Joe Morgan, how's it going? He's saying, had to take my dad to the hospital today for a routine procedure and almost got into a fist fight with administrators trying to force mask on elderly father with COPD and dementia. Yeah, I feel for you, man. It's Ooh, you guys don't want me to go off on a rant about the mask, do you? I'll say this, Joe. God bless you and your family. I hope you guys made the right decision for your father on what you had to do so he could breathe and get his other medical care needs met. We do have the right to breathe, guys. Don't ever forget that. And I believe that you guys are smart enough to know what's best for yourselves and your family. And you'll decide that whole balance between, as Ben Franklin said, those who would give up an essential liberty for a little perceived safety. deserve neither liberty nor safety, and ultimately will wind up with neither. And you guys can decide where that balance is for you. Because I've said it a million times. I'm not going to condemn you if you wear. I'm not going to condemn you if you don't wear. That's a personal choice. And every time I say that, people get mad at me somehow. But I don't care. Because this is cancel culture. I'm not going to be canceled. And I'm going to get to the, I don't know if it's the main topic, because really the main topic tonight is going to be Q&A and hanging out. But in the title, are we already in a civil war? I'll get to that in 1 second. And it does have to do with things like what Joe Morgan's talking about and many other things. Endit's here. How's it going, man? Bill Alexander, what's happening? Guerrero M. We've got Scott Steves. We've got Brownies for My Fat. Jeremy Wilson, what's happening, Jeremy? Jeremy's actually going to be in an upcoming video. Speaking of the TX22. It's going to be him and a couple other shooters. You guys will get to vote, okay? Give you guys something to look forward to. It's going to be Jeremy. It's going to be me. So there's going to be, and then there's going to be 2 other people shooting the TX22. Now, I'm going to say this right now. I'm going to say I'm the best looking person in the video, but that just goes without being said. And then you guys will have to decide between Jeremy and the 2 other ones, who's the best looking, TX22 shooters. But I'm number 1, guys, so don't even think about it other than that. But Jeremy's going to get to compete with the other shooters in the video. Speaking of that, looks like Jeremy's better half's in here. Amanda Wilson, how's it going? Now, she's definitely better looking than Jeremy, but all right. I got to watch myself because Jeremy's my boy. Even though I'm going to have his old lady's back, you guys know what I'm saying, right? I'm going to have Amanda's back, but I can't piss off Jeremy too much. Carlos Rodriguez, what's happening, man? From Texas. How you doing, man? We've got P.O. Sway Bentley from the Ancients. That's a long name. How's it going? Iron Horseman. We got Bad Wolf. What's up? Frank Reedy from Southern Mississippi. I like Southern boys. Not as much as Michigan guys, though. Hold on, Michigan guys. But you Southerners are all right. Just not as cool as Michigan guys. Speaking of Michigan, we've got Pillbox Bunker. Okay? The donor, sponsor of the channel, that sponsored Lami's ride, right? Gave that to me at a really important 2A sanctuary meeting, and we've been good friends ever since and always will be. Cave Dave, what's happening, man? Michigan guy, BEM Freedom. What's happening, BEM? How you doing, man? I told you there's some Michigan guys in here. Come on, we got to beat these Southern boys. All right, we got JBM Water 2, another Michigan guy. John Riker, what's happening? Joseph Tenfinger, 6 Strings, what's up? Garage Guy 879. How's it going, Garage Guy? Yeah, man, just put out another Revolver video, I see. I'm not going to do it as good as Garage Guy. So if you guys want to see a good Revolver channel, now I'm not going to call him a Revolver channel. Many things on the channel, but the man clearly knows revolvers, okay? You should probably go there. I'm serious. I think I'm going to attempt to do a couple Revolver videos, guys. And then you guys can laugh at me. But Garage Guy won't because he's a good dude. But he does have better Revolver videos on his channel than I do, okay? Albert Kent, what's happening, man? The Marshal. They're talking about Missouri men going to Kenosha. Yep. All kinds of stuff going on. M. Garcia, what's happening? Southeast Michigan citizen. Come on, Michigan. Samuel Stroud. Jeremy Wilson, who are you representing right now? Are you still with Bama and them Southern boys, or are you representing Michigan? Jeremy's going to have to answer that. We've got David, 488013. How's it going? We've got Oscar in the house from Miami. We've got Michigan Watch. What's up, man? 64 Samsky up north. Susan Wiki's in the house. How's it going, Susan? He didn't say anything bad yet, did he? No, Susan, I didn't. Did you get the flowers, Susan? Did your secretary give you the flowers? FLP Norris, what's up? Brazil, nice. Brazil's in the house. Hey guys, they're the ones that give Brazil a shout out if you're into the G2C, the G3C, G2S, all those pistols. Lots of good people from Brazil. Have I ever said this before, guys? Of course, the Americans, obviously, but Brazilians, Filipinos, yeah, even some Brits, believe it or not, even some bloody Brits. I say that because I love them. We've got some good people that hang out from other countries in this chat, but the ones from Brazil and the ones from the Philippines. Now, these aren't related to each other, 2 separate things. Brazilians, Filipinos. They have to be some of the nicest people I've ever met. I have to say that because it's just true. Rick Nieper, how's it going, Rick? How you doing? Hold on, I got to give Rick a shout out. Hold on, guys. All right, 2022, Rick. 2022. I've still got your back. It needs to be ironed, okay? But I'm going to keep this because I'm going to need this shirt again, buddy, okay? You've seen Rick on the channel. He didn't quite make it through the primaries, but he's not done yet. So just want to let you know. Still got your back, man. We'll finally get some good people into office eventually. We're trying, guys. As the old saying goes, if you can't stand the status quo, run for office yourself. And I encourage all of you to, all across this country. And that's what my friend Rick did. And it takes a lot of balls to do it, and it takes a lot of money to do it. And sometimes it still doesn't go your way because it's called politics. But I like to see regular people that are just liberty-minded and aren't of the political system. I like to see them go out and go for it. So definitely want to give Rick a shout out, and at least personally thank you for, trying to represent the grassroots. But like I said, elections are coming up. They'll be coming up again. You're still a young man. Who else have we got here? I know I've said hi to Cave Dave once, but I'm going to say hi to him twice just because I like him that much. So what's up again, Cave Dave? How you doing, man? We've got Haji Ortiz. What's happening? Justin Reed. Wild Man. It's not a civil war. It's a communist insurrection by the communist Democrats. I hear you. If they're amongst us, though, I'll get into the Civil War thing in just a second. We got Shots with Cola. What's happening? Yeah. Okay, here's what Shots with Cola is saying. Good stuff on the barrel, being up front, and that's all I was doing, guys. I was just trying to be up front. He says they are pretty good. I'm sure they will do everything they can to correct it. Unfortunately, you're not the only one I've heard that from. See, I didn't know that. So far, many of you have come into my comments saying, dude, mine fit perfectly, which is what I said in the video. I hope if there was 1,999 of you, it's just perfect. So, but yeah, dude, I anticipate, and I'll be letting you guys know very soon, I anticipate they're going to make it right. I'll say customer service. I believe it's actually the owner that emailed me. Seems like a very nice person. Who else have I got here? Casey Gibson shot my G3C today. I love it and feels great. You want to know what's funny, Casey? I didn't even need to read the second half of the sentence. I promise you, as soon as you said, I shot my G3C, I just knew you were going to say, I love it and it's great. I had 3 shooters out there with me the other day. One of them owned a G2C a long time, but even him, when he shot the G3C, he's like, wow. And then the other 2 that weren't very familiar with handguns at all, they said the same thing. So pretty much been across the board that anyone that shoots that Taurus G3C loves it, including me, of course. So, heck yeah. Hey, Wilcox. Yeah. No, I do want you guys' opinion about the whole Civil War thing. That's why I put it in the title while it's taking me an hour to say hi to you guys. All right, I'm going to miss some people. I have to skip down and catch up on the comments, guys, but I do read them afterwards, okay? Iron Horseman just ordered a G2C and 40. Nice. Shout out to all you 40 guys. Great caliber, by the way. I don't show a lot of it on my channel. It doesn't happen to be the one that I use the most. However, it's a great cartridge. It really is. All cartridges are good, actually. I don't advocate for any of them to disappear. Real quick here, I see Sean Morrissey, Jared DeBoer. I see John Voorhees. What's happening from Ohio? Yeah, both of our governors do suck, sir. You're absolutely right. David Bowles with the super chat. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it, man. Every little bit helps. That's how I'm able to fund these things and show you guys just straight up reviews that are paid for by me and, well, you all. It's true. I thought I saw Josh Benware in here. I know I did. Well, I can't find your comment anymore, but hey, Josh Benware, what's happening, man? He's one of the featured channels on 2AEDU. If you look at the channels I recommend, now I love a million of your channels, but I can only fit so many. But when I put a channel up there, just to let you guys know, it's because I like what they do. I hated how this chat skips on me. It's because I get 15 minutes behind. I was trying to read what he had to say, but I just saw my buddy Rudy Finney in the chat. What's happening, Rudy? How you doing, man? I don't know what you said because it scrolled by so quick, but you're a Michigan dude, and it's good to see you here regardless of what you said. David Harris, yeah, I know there's going to be some 40 jokes now, which is totally fine. He goes, 40, isn't the 40 a castrated 10 millimeter? It could be, but I will tell you this. There's a lot of 10 millimeter loadings, guys. I hate to break it, that are loaded to basically be ballistically equal to a 40. So you're right, but it all depends which 10 millimeter offering you'd like. Joe Morgan says it won't be like the 1860s. It'll probably be more like the Balkans or Ukraine. Yes. Alan Kanesh said, I bought a G2 for my daughter to take to college. Nice. Depending what state you're in, you know. Dormitories, different things like that, depending what state you live in. I'm not going to give you a lecture on the laws, but yeah, it's awesome that your daughter's armed. Mike Johnson says my G3 is made in America. Well, the G3, are you talking the G3, G3C? Those are still actually made in Brazil. They're imported by Taurus USA into America. Formerly via Miami, Florida. Now it's, I think, Bainbridge, Georgia. I know it's Georgia for sure. I think I got the city right. So they're actually imported in through the U.S. Now, some of them, like your Spectrum and, you know, I believe the TX, some of those are actually truly made here. But be careful with the Tauruses. They are still, most of the G series, the G2C, G3, you know, all those, they're still made in Brazil, but it'll have on the slide Taurus USA because that's the importer. Just like if you buy an old Bulgarian Makarov that was made in Bulgaria. When it comes over here, the importer has to laser etch. Now, Century Arms always used to, and some of the other ones, PW Arms, they put this big billboard covering the whole slide. Now, and only as of lately, they're discreetly doing it under the trigger guard and stuff. But the importer has to put their name, their city and state, the caliber, and a model number. Now, if the caliber and model are already on there, they don't need to add that twice. But they still have to put the importer's name, city, and state. So when you see Taurus, Miami, Florida, that's because that was Taurus acting as an importer from Brazil. If you see Taurus, you know, Bainbridge, Georgia, they were importing in from Brazil. So there you guys go. Just a little lesson on how that works and how the importing laws, you know what I'm saying? That's why they have to put that on there. And Funas is saying goes for Canada as well. So there you go. I do not think it's like Browning where they're making the parts here and sending them back. I believe they're actually made in the Brazil, brought here, imported. Okay, that's, and I even have, hold on, I have an empty box here to show you guys. I'll show you something real quick that'll help clear it up, okay? Okay, so here's a box. This is an empty box, Susan. I know you're watching. This is an empty box. We can show boxes on live streams. See if it'll zoom in here. Okay, right here. Now, I can't translate this exactly, but basically what this is telling you is that this came in. See, this is like an authorized export, basically. Modelo G3C9. So this came in from Brazil, okay? Exported Modelo model G3C9 into the United States. So Taurus International, they're importing. I could solve this real quick, guys, if I could actually touch the gun, but I can't touch firearms. Can't touch firearms in live streams. Here's another right here. I'll show you guys. Alan Kunesh says, nice to hear about Texas campus allows guns. Okay, awesome. Okay, right here. Taurus Armas. I can't read it. Is our Brazilian friend still in the chat? I know there was literally at least one Brazilian in here. Okay. See, now they're out of Bainbridge, Georgia, but made here. comes into the country via Taurus International. So, and I know it's going to say something in here somewhere, but I don't want to bore you guys too much, but I did want to mention that. And I'm not just doing this for Mike, so don't feel bad, Mike. I get this question a lot, like a lot. And I totally understand the way it's marked, why it leads to some of that confusion. Like, I completely get it. I guess it's just the fact that I'm into milsurp so much. I'll have a 1895 Nagant revolver, okay, that was made in, I have some that were made in the 19 teens, a couple of them. No doubt made in Russia, like, end of story, obviously. But it'll still have our guns, Carpentersville, Illinois, on the gun, because that's the ATF making them mess with your with your gun and make it where it doesn't look proper anymore. All right. Just trying to check up on the chat real quick here. Yes. Now, what has happened, I see a little bit talk about this. Taurus has had different conglomerates. They've owned other companies, been in conglomeration with other companies. That gets complicated. That could be, if I really wanted to look into it, a whole topic for like a 2-hour stream in and of itself. It literally gets that complicated. But yes, Taurus has been in with Smith & Wesson in the past. That's why you'll notice some of your Taurus revolvers happen to look almost identical in some cases to certain Smith revolvers. And at the very least, even as they've evolved, they still share characteristics thereof. Like, basically any Taurus revolver I'm familiar with certainly is in the vein of a Smith to this day, way more than it would be a Colt, for example. And some of your revolver experts can definitely come in here and correct me really, really quick if I'm wrong on that. Bill Alexander, thanks for bringing that up. He says 215 in the chat, which is a lot. I appreciate it, guys, but only 79 thumbs ups. So I would appreciate it. It's free, guys. If you're on your phone and you don't know how to do it, you just have to hide the chat for 2 seconds. You'll see the thumbs. Give it to me. It's free. Then you can open the chat right back up again. Because I totally realize you guys are more here for the chat than you are me, which is totally understandable because I'm enjoying the chat myself, actually, to be quite honest with you guys. Waffle S Plus says, I'm outside the USA looking in, but it looks hella like a civil war. That's interesting. I appreciate that perspective. Any other foreigners, for lack of a better word, looking in? You guys from the outside looking in through this window of the United States, what do you guys see? I see some stuff in Europe right now that looks like it could be pretty close too. All right. I've noticed this lately, and I think about this, and I think some of you guys talk to your friends about this topic too. Civil War. What is it? Well, I guess you can't help but to think about the 1860s in the United States, and you think of Abraham Lincoln, and you think of the North, and you think of the South. And you can't help but to think of race. You can't help but to think of slavery. You can't help but to think of things like cotton. You can't help but to think of things of arguments over currency, economy, whether people have the right to secede from the Union. You can't help but to at least think about these things, right? So I think that's where a lot of the context starts for a lot of us. And it's okay. You should use history as context, right? Because if you look at this era of time, and let's say hypothetically you think it was a good time, well, you're going to want to look at it to try to re-emulate it and make it a great time. But if you thought it was a very dark time in the United States, and if you thought it was bad, then you're going to want to try to look at the history and do everything you can to learn from your history, or else you're going to be doomed to repeat it. So I think we should all agree on that. Whether you think past civil war this country had was a good thing, or you think it was a bad thing, you should study it either way, right? More good times ahead, or let's prevent bad times ahead. That wasn't meant to be a hypothetical, guys. I literally think that, to be fair, you should study it nonetheless. So that's where you kind of start, right? Or do you start with stuff like this when you're thinking about this concept? Are we going to have a civil war in the United States again? Is it imminent? Or maybe we already have one going on right now. It just looks so much different than past ones. Do you think about the Bolshevik Revolution? I heard someone mention communists earlier. These are communists. These are Bolsheviks. I show these a lot in my streams. But I don't think I show them too much because I think we should be looking at this. These are called the Bolsheviks. The Bolsheviks took control of Russia during the October Revolution of 1917, establishing the Russian Socialist Federated Soviet Republic, a precursor to the USSR. This undersized note was among the first issues of the new communist government. And this is a genuine, original, authentic. We'll see this is the first time that the hammer and sickle appeared. Now this hammer and sickle, you can see the plentiful, the wheat that's embossing on the edges here. Plenty of work and food for everybody, you could infer from that. And that's certainly a picture they wanted to portray. Well, when you look at this, do you notice? Do you think about some of these things? Do you think, well, maybe our country's become so advanced that we could never have this happen here? I mean, this happened in history. How could we possibly, knowing this has happened before, even consider it happening in the United States? Is that what you think? Or have you seen this picture before where it says evolution, ? And it shows the caveman that's like down on all fours, and it shows him gradually getting upright, holding a club, and then he's upright, as a modern human being, and then it shows him de-evolve on the other side of the t-shirt all the way down where he's hunched back over a computer keyboard again. Look up the shirt. You guys will know what I mean. It's like if you've seen it, just close your eyes. We've evolved from like this crunched over thing all the way up to a full upright modern man, and now we've de-evolved, but we're back like this again. Some of us are in mom's basement. Some of us are in a shop that's so messy it makes all the ADHD people hate for no reason. But wherever we're at, some of us find ourselves sometimes. Maybe you don't, but maybe people you know do. You find them hunched over on the keyboard. And there's so much involved in all these little things, and there's so much involved in their reality of social media and fighting with one another online. Are they even taking the time to step back and to look out and see what's going on? I don't know. Because I see today, in today's society, we have people on the streets. They call them peaceful protesters. They call themselves communists. Look, we don't have to say that as like a slur. Yeah, it is a put down to call someone a communist because that's not a good thing. And if you look back at the regimes of Lenin, Stalin, Mao, now Mussolini and Hitler were a little different, but not a whole lot when you really get down to it. You look at the leaders of these countries, and it wasn't 1 million people, like the one's too many, right? 1 million certainly too many, but hundreds of millions of people, death from them using firearms on their own people. Mao himself said, all political power comes from the barrel of a gun. Mao also instituted communism in China in 1949, started mainly in the mainstream by these people, originally developed by Karl Marx and others. Quick cliff note that they don't teach you in the history nowadays in the public schools anyways. Karl Marx, look him up. One of the most devout racists you'll ever meet. Very, very, very vehemently racist person, quite possibly as racist as someone could be. He was the one that conceived this notion of Marx. It's been known as Marxism, Bolsheviks, communist, socialist, fascist, National Socialist German Workers' Party. It's been known as many things. It's known as Bernie Sanders. It's known as Trudeau. There's a lot of things that it's known as. In the present day sense, it appears, just by watching his outward policy on TV, it may be appearing to be Joe Biden, Kamala Harris. Now, some of these you could say are to different extents, and to be fair, sure. But this has been going on for a very, very long time. And they do have a premise here. This is part of their premise. This is part of their bill of sale, their bill of goods. Look at this. A hammer and sickle. Just put in a little hard work. We'll feed you. We'll take care of you. And a lot of us are passionate people, and a lot of us believe in charity and generosity, and we believe in helping people. You know, if you're a Christian, you believe in charity and you believe in helping people. That's what the Bible orders you to do. I'm not familiar with a lot of other religions, but I know many and most religions encourage you to do the same thing. So on the surface, it sounds kind of good. But what ends up happening is this. You have people who are unwilling to work for themselves to, quite frankly, feed themselves. So then there's not enough food for everybody. So then a couple of different things happen. It starts off, it sounds great at first, right? Look at everyone will just go out there with their hammer and their sickle. They'll be industrious with the hammer. They'll build things. They'll use the sickle. Look at the plentiful wheat. It's hard with a glossy protector this is in, guys. I'm sorry, but abundant wheat adorning the sides. Look at that. Food adorning the sides of the sickle. All you have to do, they make it sound like it's so simple. You just go out there. And if everyone just works a little bit and chips in a little bit in this communism, hey, each according to his work, each according to his need. I'll do a little bit of this, you'll do a little bit of that, happy-go-lucky. In fact, one of the modern day politicians, when they had that Chaz Chop, whatever it's called, basically said this was just a summer of happiness. And this was going to be a barbecue and a cookout. It's not that much unlike what they were trying to sell, the bill of goods, to the people in Russia well over 100 years ago. Now, in that case, we would have things like regular infantry that would come in, and ultimately there was wars over communism. That's where this Bolshevik revolution came in, and they fought physically. They would do more of the lining up and fighting back then in rank and file. You had your ranks where you had to duck down below, right? So the guy behind you could shoot over the top of you and reload and all these types of things. Even though certainly center fire cartridge guns were around in this time period, they were still fighting not much unlike, in many instances, like they were back in the United States Civil War. So in that sense, are we in a civil war? Well, no, I don't see a Gettysburg battlefield right now. There's not like, let's just brand, and it's way more complicated than this, guys, but let's just say this. I don't see like, let me say this one more time because people like to misquote online like crazy. It's not this simple, but I just have to use an analogy. We don't see 100 Republicans wearing a red uniform and 100 Democrats wearing a blue, uniform, setting up the stockades and the wood spikes that come out of the ground. And we don't see the generals coming out in the middle with their swords and saber rattling and then going back off to the sides. We don't see the cannon fodder. We're not seeing ramparts. I mean, it's not going to look like that necessarily. And I think the way it is nowadays, with how populated our country is, it just, the way things have evolved technologically, I don't think we're going to see that again. We're going to go out into a farmer's field, and you're just going to see 100, and I'm using this just as a vague example, guys, 100 Republicans versus 100 Democrats. Of course, the Republicans in this scenario are wearing the red uniform, and the Democrats are wearing the blue, and they say charge, and they let off a volley fire, and then they charge with their bayonets, and it goes hand to hand. I don't think so. Now, do I see hand-to-hand combat? Of course I see hand-to-hand combat because I try not to turn on the news, but if I do, if I'm cursed to turn it on, I do actually see fighting in the streets, though. However, I see hand-to-hand combat. I see firearms. I see people tearing down and demolishing things. I see fires raging. I see people, like I said, using firearms to just attack people. Like literally, like, hey, there's one over there. And before the guy can even get his bear spray out, he's just starting to pull the trigger, and his friend said he watched him get shot that quick. Now, that guy was cocky enough to go on Vice, of all things, and apparently he got into a shootout with the boys, and they got the best of him, allegedly, as I know now. But yeah, there are people literally on the streets with two different ideologies, two different ways that they want to see America, two polar opposite ways. I would actually argue, and this is something I want you guys to think about. It's something more of a food for thought than something that you should just take my word for. But if you look back in the Civil War in the United States in the 1860s, there were polarized views. There were a certain section of Americans that believed the country should run in this certain way. and another group that thought it should run in an opposite way. Enough to the point where they were willing to fight and die for it, and many did die, and many fought with much honor. Many people gave their hearts and souls. To be honest with you, we're all Americans. God bless both sides in the end, because we've all reunited, and we're all Americans now, regardless if we live north and the south. But how divided were they back then? Pretty darn divided to do all that, right? Well, if you look back, though, even then, when they were fighting against each other, and you can read this, because the great thing about the Civil War is many people kept journals and memoirs. You can read what these troops were saying. Even as a lot of them were having to get feet amputated, gangrene, a lot of the death and injuries and amputations of the Civil War were not just from musket balls, although many were. It had to do with malnourishment, it had to do with the cold, freezing, not proper accommodations, people having to sleep in way less than makeshift tents and camps. And even though these people were out there in some cases freezing to death, in other cases a mortal wound, and this is sad, but back then a lot of times you get shot with the musket. With today's modern science and medical technology, they could have just pulled it out and they would have probably been home from the hospital in 2 days. But back then they might die a slow death of 3 weeks when gangrene set in, right? But even under those times where they were clearly killing each other, if you read some of the memoirs and diaries from the South and the North, it doesn't seem like back then the opposing sides hated each other nearly as much as people hate each other now. Seems like to me, I'm seeing people hating each other almost as much as they possibly could. So when you have anything going on, what do you need? You need motive, means, and opportunity. And that's what I was getting to. Seems right now there's more of a motivation for it than there's ever been. Now, in this live stream, us hanging out with each other, now there's probably some exceptions. I just haven't had a chance to look over at the chat too much here. But for the most part, we're probably all having a good time, and we're amongst the best of friends with each other. But at the same time, when you look at the bigger picture of the internet alone, and then go out actually on the streets and look in these big cities, in the downtown areas, I see as much vitriol and sheer hate and division more than I've ever seen. Now, could I see what was going on in the 1800s? No, of course not. So no matter what, I'm not gonna get to see it in color. You know that old Jamie Johnson song? You should have seen it in color. It's a good song, by the way. I get it. I could never clearly get a picture of it back then, but if you do read through some of the diaries and memoirs, and then you read some of the stuff that's being said now, I think there might be, at the very least, just as much, if not even 100 times more hate right now amongst certain people than there was even in the 1800s. So that element's kind of already there, guys. Now, it might, in very rare instances, this could possibly happen in the future, and I hope none of this gets any further, guys, but just giving you my honest take on it. Out in a farmer's field, rank and file, like again, the saber rattling, that saying saber rattling, for you younger public schools people, that's because what would actually happen is the generals would come out, usually horse mounted, they'd get in between their men, and they would get out in the middle and talk for a minute. And what was very popular is they kind of do a little circle with their horses, and meanwhile you'd have the generals grabbing onto their saber, their long sword, and it would be in a metal sheath, and they'd sit there and rattle their saber at the other general. Not much different than professional boxers. How do they go to their weigh-in and they both get right in each other's face, and once in a while they'll kind of do that kind of stuff, and then they'll kind of, and then their people have to get in the middle of them. Actually, it was an old way of that, if you want to look at it that way. Do I necessarily think we're going to be out there with two men on a horse, commissioned officers thereof, rattling their sabers? No, I don't think so. Are people going to be leading charges? Probably not, because I don't even see really any uniformed militaries fighting that way anymore. But if the element of there being war is there's death, and there's two different divided factions that already have motivation, like I said earlier, right? And they have the means. People are coming with all kinds of improvised weapons, including just regular conventional weapons. And they have the opportunity, meaning the police are just standing back in many instances, just rushing to the back and just watching this melee happen in the street. Is there really that much of a difference? So here's my answer. And unfortunately, it's an answer in the form of a question just because I'm being honest with you guys. I'm not a philosopher. Do I look like Plato? I mean, I'm better looking than Plato. I don't look like him. Not a philosopher, guys. Even though I do think, some of the stuff like the cave and all that, the metaphors of the cave are very interesting. I'm making fun of myself, not the philosophers. I'm going to have to say this. Is there going to be a civil war soon? I don't know. Seems like it. But maybe not, because we might already be in one right now and just not really quite realize it yet. Do millions of people have to die for it to be a civil war? Well, maybe if you wanted it to be exactly like the last one we had, maybe. But maybe not, and hopefully not. Does it mean there's not going to be one coming up where there could be millions that die? We can't rule that out, even though I don't want there to be one. I'm not here to incite one. I think that's pretty obvious. I would do anything in my power to not have anything like that. I tend to be a pretty peaceful guy, but if you want peace, you have to prepare for war. And I do believe in that saying too. That's another wise, philosopher type saying. What do you guys think? I want to keep talking about this a little more as it evolves, but things aren't looking good right now, okay? Things aren't looking good at all. Now, things are looking great in this chat. I see tons of good people. I don't want anybody to go home and be all pissed off. Don't go beat your wife. Like, it's not like that. None of this is to try to make you guys mad or anything. I don't want you guys to be mad. Come on, I want to hang out. But I'm not just going to sit there and put my head in the sand and say, dude, everything's okay, guys. There's absolutely no animosity in this country. The fake news isn't running everything. Because, in fact, we had news back. Look, there was arguments over the printing press back in the time of Franklin, okay? If you look up Benjamin Franklin and the printing press, the news has always been fake, guys. There's literally always been this battle of we the people, the First Amendment, the freedom of the press versus the freedom of the people, propaganda. We've had propaganda in every presidential election we've ever had. So it's not new, but here's what it is. It's more prolific than it's been in all time. We have fake news and very fake news on levels more than we've ever seen before. Now, there's some great independent media sources on YouTube, but not everybody on YouTube is accurate. You can't honestly ever say that. There's some people just as fake on YouTube as there is CNN. However, there's some very genuine people on YouTube. There's an asterisk there, as long as they can be, really, really trying to get out good news until Susan and others usually restrict and censor them and either strike their accounts or close their accounts or demonetize it. And if you're a news agency, independent, and that's what you do for a living to pay your bills, and they get rid of all your monetization, that's kind of the same way as if you wrote for a newspaper and they fire you. You still have to get some money and feed your family at the end of the day, right? So yeah, the news is a huge, huge, huge part of it. You can't even for 1 minute, forget that part of it. But it's also us. It's also each other. And when I say us, I don't mean like us as in like me and Chuck R. or me and Jeremy Wilson us. I mean us like all the human beings. It's tough to say this, guys, in one sense, but it's easy to say in another. These are still all people. It doesn't matter how despicable you may think they are, because I assure you, they think you're just as despicable as you think they are. This works both ways. That's not what the Declaration of Independence says. It says that we're all people. So these people have a say too. Here's what it's going to come down to. All people have a say. I believe all people are seen in the broad sense equal under the eyes of God. That's what I believe as a Christian, but I'm not here today to tell you what your religious beliefs should be, because I believe in religious freedom. I also believe that if you look at our founding documents, that all men are endowed by their Creator. Right? Certain essential rights. And amongst these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Now, they did say the word all. I know there's been a big movement lately, and this goes right into, are we in a civil war, and what type of civil war is it? The word all, they're trying to actually change the meaning of that nowadays. I've heard many arguments recently where people are starting to say that if you say all lives matter, that somehow you're racist or bigoted for saying that, and I could not disagree more. All means all. And here's the irony. You guys can probably craft a better version of this, but here's something you can use if you're in an argument with these people. There's certain types of people out there, and they're people just like me. They're equal to me in so many respects, but the problem is their arguments aren't any good. They're very misinformed. But other than that, they're equal. Even though my arguments are much better than theirs, and I've studied history a lot better than them, that's fine. They can have their opinions. But when they say all lives matter doesn't cover certain groups of people, if you say that, it just doesn't matter anymore. What they're really trying to do is they're trying to redefine the word all. And I've literally had people tell me this. They said, when you say all lives matter, that doesn't include Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter is not included in all. And here's my first response to that. Oh, really? That's one of the most bigoted, racist things I've ever heard. Are you actually trying to tell me that blacks are no longer considered people? Is that your argument? Oh, that gets them really heated up. They come back and they say, oh, no. You're the racist because you say all lives matter. I said, but when I say all lives matter, that's the complete opposite. I'm saying basically all. Because there's more different colors in this world than just white and black. Like, they don't realize that. You know how I can prove they don't realize that? The mainstream media said that Kyle went after blacks and the threats of violence. They called him a terrorist. They called him all these crazy things, only to find out that he's not even white. He's Hispanic, and he shot white people in self-defense. So how can these people sit there and say that all lives matter is the racist thing? No, it's not. All equals all. And I'm almost starting to feel like I'm more liberal than these supposed liberals. Now, hold on, guys. Before you freak out, let me explain. Liberal is supposed to mean that you have an open mind and you're willing to accept others. You know what I looked at Kyle as? I looked at Kyle as a human being that has the right to live just like all of us do and that worked as a lifeguard in that town. Yeah, he technically went across state lines to go there, but not really. Not really. Because, see, here's the thing. Where I live in Michigan, we go to Toledo, Ohio oftentimes because it's just the next town over. So by technicalities, are we crossing state lines to go to Costco? Yes. But we're not crossing state lines in the way that they made it sound like. They made it sound like, oh, this dude like traveled across the whole country. Okay? Went across the whole country to do this. No, he went to the town next over where he worked. And he was there at the high school cleaning up graffiti and brought a med kit. And while he was there, decided he may need to protect himself and he may need to protect some small businesses that a friend owned. And him and some other friends said they protect. Okay? Now, this is all allegedly my opinion. It's all under investigation. Let me say that disclaimer for Susan. Allegedly. Opinion, Susan, opinion. Okay? Now, when it got time to protect that business, and it did need to be protected because they were rolling a burning dumpster towards this business, trying to make a gas station blow up. Now, what's the difference between a charge in the middle of a hayfield, okay, Gettysburg, etc., and rolling a lit dumpster into a gas station that would blow up like a bomb? To me, this is modern warfare, right? See, this all ties in together, the whole Civil War thing / why does everybody hate each other so much? And why is the mainstream media trying to make a fake race war and trying to make us hate each other? When really, in real life, we don't really even hate each other. Not as much as they want us to anyways. Now, there's some lemmings and some people that must have low self-esteem or can't think for themselves that are getting tricked by the fake news into hating people. But you know what, Sav? Let me go back to the Kyle thing real quick here, okay? If I were to listen to the news, I wouldn't have done this. No black people I know would have done this. But hypothetically, if you listen to the news, you know what could have happened? It could have been me and some black dude out in the street, dueling or fighting or whatever, because the media put it right up there. It's the whites versus the blacks. This white guy came in, and he was hell-bent to try to take out as many blacks as possible. And go back and look. That's what they reported right away. Only to find out later, and none of this even matters. I'm just mentioning it to prove how fake they are. It's a Hispanic dude protecting himself from some white dudes. So why would the black and white guy need to be fighting when they had nothing to do with it? You guys see my point, right? But if you read in the media and you read that and you actually took that to heart, some people, now probably not a lot of you good people hanging out here, but some people would be inclined to actually get them hyped up and get them amped up and ready to go. Obviously, There's hundreds and sometimes thousands, and in rare instances, 10,000s of people taken to the streets to completely tear down cities, kill people, silence other people's rights, a total totalitarian oppression over people, physically overwhelming. Quite frankly, terroristic activities. When you're using force and threat of force and violence, right, to promote your ideology over somebody else's, that is the definition of terrorism. Wait a minute, I thought terrorism was just a guy from the Middle East that's going to hijack an airplane. Yeah, maybe that's what we were brought up in the 80s and 90s to think that it meant. And it does still mean that. But that's not the definition of what the word terrorism means. A terrorist are people that use fear and threats of violence or out and out violence to try to impose their ideology onto other people. You will believe in this or we will come and burn your business down. You will raise your fist to us or we will heckle you or hurt you or even kill you. But this isn't the first time this has happened, and those were called wars back when it was happening in the past. In Germany, when a supreme being would go down the street, quote unquote, I couldn't say it more sarcastically, when the supreme being would go down the street in his Mercedes-Benz, and he was going to have that Reich that was going to last for 1,000 years. When he went by, they all went like that. And if they didn't, what would have happened to him? What's the difference between what's going on right now and if you don't go like this? Have you guys thought about these things? Now, when we went in to bust up that Reich, and it actually lasted 12 years-ish instead of 1,000 years, and we broke it up, that was called WW2. Yeah? Well, I see people that are being forced, physically trying to force them and coerce them into doing some of the same things I've seen. I've seen pillaging, destruction. So I don't know. I don't know, guys. And I'm not just saying that like as a filler, like, I don't know. No, I'm really, the more I keep thinking about it, I don't want to quite say, yeah, you know, we're right in the middle of a full-fledged civil war. I don't quite know. But I definitely am to the point right now where I can't say we're not. Maybe this is what the beginning of one looks like in the year 2020, because I do see some elements of it. I see a lot of the same propaganda tactics that were used by these people. Believe it or not, I actually agree with Antifa on one or two things only. Now, you can agree with one or two things. At least I can. Hopefully you guys can. And still completely condemn the 98 other things. Give you an example. Us and Russia both agreed that we needed to stop that Third Reich, but then instantly went into a Cold War because we realized they were probably just as bad, and these things happen. But I'll tell you what, I'm seeing a lot of stuff out of their playbook. I'm also seeing a lot of stuff out of the fascist playbook, where the fascists, it wasn't just that they would impose tyranny, and I can't sum this up in 5 minutes, but I'll try. They wouldn't just impose their tyranny and dictatorship straight from the government. They brought corporations into it and used corporations to help with the tyranny. And in that one regard, I actually do agree with some of the stuff some of the people on the other side are saying, like, these corporations are literally taking America away from us. And in some instances, I think it's pretty obvious if you sit back and think about it. All the accounts that Facebook deletes, all the tweets that get removed, even right here with Susan, right? These are corporations. Now, here's what's interesting. These are corporations that can take away First Amendment rights. And people say, well, wait a minute, just stop, dude. You're dead wrong. So I'm going to tell you guys the counter argument. They can't take your rights away from you, dude. They're just a corporation. Well, that's what Mussolini did, though. It's not exactly a parallel, but it's, look up Mussolini. You'll see what I mean. It's not the United States doing it. The United States, Congress shall pass no law abridging your free speech. This isn't Congress. This is just Facebook. This is just Zuckerberg. Okay. But actually, it's not okay, because here's why. And I already know the argument. It's probably going in the chat right now, a mile a minute, and you guys are fine. I get it. We're cool. I ain't mad at you. You guys are going to say, but 2A EDU, they're corporations. They're private businesses. They can do what they want. But are they really? And I would make arguments that, yes, they are, but kind of not. And here's why. It says, In the United States, however, pursuing an ISP or a website is not a legitimate legal option for a plaintiff making a defamation claim. In 1995, Congress passed the Communications Decency Act, which protects ISPs, social media platforms, and website hosts from defamation claims. Now, defamation means fake news, right? These are kind of synonymous with each other. Now, all fake news isn't necessarily defamation, but defamation is basically always fake news, right? I think we could agree on that. And what we hear about often is the Section 230 of the Communications Decency Act. So this is now legislation legislated by the United States Congress, one of the separate branches of government, that carves out an exception for these people and says, but here's the thing, they can't be sued. They can't be sued for any type of defamation. Well, now that's been turned into they can't get sued for anything that they do. They can sit there and censor. They can delete. They can publish stuff that's straight libelous. Their argument's been this for a long time, but hold on. We're not actually an editor. We're not editing things like the New York Times would. We're not editors. We're just a pass-through. All we do is let people post stuff up, okay? And we don't do it. That fell apart the minute they started censoring all this. I'll give you an example. Couldn't have a better example. If you go on Facebook right now and you put a post of Kyle's defense fund, how to contribute to it, and you post the link that was put up by Lynn Wood, his actual lawyer, the legitimate link, nothing that they could call fake news, which is a whole nother thing I could get into for an hour, but I'll defer for another time. This is the legit link on how to support Kyle's legal defense fund. They will remove that from you. And they'll threaten you with punitive action on your account, up to and including what they call Facebook jail or even deleting your account. Now, the minute they started doing that, they're now curating content, aka editing content. And there's no difference between Facebook and a newspaper because they're deciding what gets put into print and what doesn't. But somehow they're still protected under this 1995 Act, Section 230. So there are some parallels, guys. When people say, hold on, there is a state of fascism upon us. We do have corporations right now doing things that the government may or may not want to do, but they can't because, see, we have this thing called the Bill of Rights. And many people want to repeal it, by the way. But up until they repeal it, it's still the law of the land. And it says, Congress shall pass no law. But here's the problem. Congress did pass a law that gives these people complete impunity where they can censor, curate, and edit, just like an editorial in a newspaper would, the content, so they can put their own political beliefs out and their own ideology out. These big social media companies. And they're getting by with it with 100% impunity with the federal government's help. So here's where I'm at. And here's what I think we need to start really putting some heat on our elected officials, our representatives in Washington, up to and including President Trump, all of them. They need to get away with this Section 230 or they need to do something about this big tech. Because I'm sorry, but when it says Congress shall pass no law, they might think it's a cute little loophole, but it's real easy to see through. But then Congress makes a law. Congress shall pass no law infringing or abridging, right? But then they pass a law that allows companies to do everything that they want to do, but the Constitution won't let them do. And it gets worse than that. They're even doing it with police now. Where police, they have to take an oath, and they have procedures to follow. And if they violate your civil rights, you can get a civil rights investigation filed against them. A lot of local police are now outsourcing to mercenaries, to private security contractors. Not specifically, but think of Blackwater type-ish companies and others. Not literally Blackwater. I'm just saying that's a famous one. You guys might get a picture in your head. And they're having private security go through now and do policing work on the streets where you can't demand their badge number. You can't get a freedom of information request. Where they don't have to read you your Mirandas because they're not the government. And just like the government isn't Susan, I get that, and they're not Zuckerberg. But the government is allowing Zuckerberg and Susan to do. You guys see the problem with this? Look at Mussolini. You might see some parallels. You might not. I'm not saying 100. This is all apples to 100% apples. But yeah, if you look at what things have happened before that have constituted war, I sure see a lot of elements of it. Sure see a lot of elements of it. Is it as bad as it could get? No. Will it get that bad? I sure as heck hope not. So it's either imminent, guys, or we're already in it. And I know I'm asking you questions, and I am going to come back and read later. Rudy Finney with the super chat. Thanks, dude. He says, I believe war is at our doorsteps and continues to keep knocking. I, for one thing, you create a plan to ensure as much safety with family, trusted friends, and the like-minded community individuals. Yes. And I think all of what he said is important. It's not only just yourself, because you can be the Lone Ranger, and there is some security in that. I will give you that. Less people to trust. But ultimately, you need a few people to have your back. And these are hopefully going to be your friends, your family, maybe some of the friends that you've met in these chats. Because I've met a lot of people that are in this chat that I would definitely like to have on my back and be on the right side of things with me. I'll tell you that much for sure. And I went on such a long rant. Rudy left me a second super chat. If you can remember what you said, dude, will you please type it again real quick? I'll be looking for it. But thank you for the second super chat. Rudy, I appreciate it. And if anyone else left one, please say @28edu to me right now so I can definitely get that. It only lets me go back so far. And if some of you guys know how to use YouTube better than I do, definitely let me know so I can go back. So let's see here. I'm just taking a quick peek. David Harris says, @280, that's because of the Glock 20's unsupported chamber. Wait, we're going to Civil War because Glock has an unsupported chamber? Now, hold on a minute. We could actually. Glock Tards versus CZ guys. Literally going into Civil War. No holds barred over the unsupported chamber. So that's why I read that comment. It seems to be out in left field, but it actually could make a little bit of sense, right? Whose super chat did I miss? Oh, my thing's like an hour behind here. See, this is driving me nuts on this. There's something going on with the comments tonight, guys. I don't know if it's Susan messing with me. Yeah, I might be reading this stuff all out of context. I just looked down at my chat, okay? I just looked down at my chat, and it was saying 10:08, and it's reading 10:52 on my end, so. If I missed your super chat, it's still going to a good cause, guys, and you'll see the results of it on the channel soon and the next thing I buy for the channel. I'm so sorry. That's so rude of me to not. Yeah. There's literally something going on right now with this chat, and I'm trying real quick here. I don't want to just sit here and have you guys be bored. I'm trying to figure out what the heck is going on here with this stupid chat. Okay, there it is. I think it got back up again. Hopefully the stream's been going this whole time. Have I been talking to myself? Ooh, Rudy Penny with another super chat. Thanks, dude. He said, I didn't mean for you to actually... Rudy, I didn't mean for you to super chat me again, dude. I wasn't asking for extra... Oh, I feel terrible now. I meant for you just to type in what I missed. I didn't want you to... I owe you dinner, dude. Seriously, let's meet up soon. You're in Michigan, man. You guys know what just happened to me. I feel so embarrassed. I wasn't asking the dude to send me another super chat. I just wanted him to type it again. All right. He said, and when they come through the door, be sure they're leaking fluids on the way back out. And you know what? That actually goes right along. That goes right along with a saying that I've always liked. And they have it on T-shirts, you know. When they come for your guns, give them your bullets first, right? Defensively, Susan, defensively. Obviously defensively. And then Michael Frost said, Rudy said to get ready, the war will be at your doorsteps. Next, he wrote, make sure they're walking out your door with blood. Yeah, okay, I got it. Thank you. Let's see here. Rudy knew. Oh, you did know what I meant. I still owe you some lunch or something, dude. Can I take you shooting? Can we at least do that someday? All right, guys, I need to get a quick drink. I've been on here for an hour and 10 minutes already. Are you kidding me right now? I guess I was having fun because it went really fast. Kings Outdoors. Yeah, I guess they're screwing with me. I don't know. My chat just like froze up on me. Oh, I went back to, you're right. Yeah, make sure. Thank you, Morgan. You'd think like as the channel owner, like I'm logged in as the owner of the channel. It's got me back on top chat again. Susan? Susan, I thought we were friends. See, guys, you try to be nice. You try to be nice to her, and look what happens. You're breaking my heart, Susan. I thought we were friends. I even showed this for you, Susan. I thought. All right, whatever. David Harris, Wild Man Panhandling. No, just to Susan. Just to Susan. Not everybody can be that attractive as Susan is. Trust me. Okay, hold on a minute. Joe Morgan says, that's okay. I talk to myself all the time. It's when the voices answer back that I get nervous. Okay, Carlos Rodriguez has a question. I'm going to take a 5-minute break. Please, guys, please. I just went on a rant to where it's got me so thirsty. I need to take a break. You guys owe me one. Help out our buddy Carlos Rodriguez, okay? I need one of the Revolver guys to get in there, okay? Somebody come in and help Carlos. I'm not a huge Revolver guy. He says, I purchased a Ruger SP101 and the empty casings do not eject. I have to pry them out. Ever heard of that? Yes, but there's a lot smarter people in here than me. So please, someone help Carlos out. I will be back in 5 minutes. And then we're going to go into the Q&A and just general hangout with each other. So I will be right back. My lawnmower reused bottle iced tea, guys. I wash the bottles out, but I keep a little bit of label just for authenticity so that you guys will know. No, actually, it's so dirty after like 2 days. Literally, use it today, wash it tonight, use it again tomorrow. It gets that messed up. But this is kind of like my certificate of authenticity so that you know you're watching the official, real 2A EDU stream. And hold on. I'm going to take my break here, but and of course, Lamy. I mean, really? All right, I'll be right back, guys, in like 2 minutes. Help Carlos, okay? Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. All right. All right. I'm back. Lami was still here. That's the star of the show, but I'm back. I was taking a quick breeze through, some good chat going on. Real quick here. Adrian G. I'll address one thing you said because it's worth mentioning. And I've said this before and I'll say it again. And this is something for you guys to think about, regardless of what side you're on. Police accountability. Yes, we agree. We're not going to argue there at all. Accountable? Of course, accountable. Nobody wants more accountability from our elected people and our public servants than I do. Trust me, I've been beating path on the local campaign trail trying to get some local grassroots people elected here in Michigan that won't just be of the swamp. I don't want a rhino in office either, okay? So I'm not just like a Republican boy that's like as long as they have the R. No, they need to be constitutionalists to consider themselves public servants or I don't support them. That's always been my statement. But be careful for what you guys wish for. People that want to just get rid of the police, because at least the police, you can still, if they do violate your civil rights, and sometimes they do, I'll play along. It happens sometimes. I get it. All cops aren't perfect. Any cop will tell you that all cops aren't perfect. This is nothing new. However, there's still some accountability, and there's things like federal civil rights suits. But I said this, be careful getting rid of all the local cops, because we could have a nationalized police force. That has happened in other countries in the past, and it wasn't good. Or we could go with privatized police, which goes right hand in hand. I mentioned it earlier, where, yeah, Congress shall pass no law abridging your speech, but they did pass a law allowing Susan and Zuckerberg and all these other people to censor your speech with protection of the law. What's the difference in the end? Your free speech is getting squashed. So be careful. Be careful, okay? Am I going to be the next president? No, I don't have all the answers on how to run this country. I'm never going to say I do, but I will tell you this. Be very careful for what you wish for. You get rid of cops, which most of them are good. Most of them are pretty darn nice people that I've met when it really comes down to it. And then get privatized police that no longer have to take an oath to the Constitution. Or how about this foreign police? Do you all that want to get rid of your local county sheriffs? You want to get rid of your deputies? Would you rather have UN? Would you rather have blue helmets patrolling the streets? You think they're going to treat you good? You think they're going to take a liking to the mob? You all use the word mob. I never used the word mob, but since it was used, I'll use it now. Do you want to see what the UN's going to do? Do you want to look up habeas corpus? Do you think the UN takes an oath to the Fifth Amendment? Or the Fourth, or the First, or the Second? In fact, the UN Arms Treaty that's been passed, just not ratified by the Senate, Obama signed it. This isn't my opinion. This isn't hyperbole. Provable fact, Obama signed it, but it was not ratified by the Senate. The UN Arms Treaty wants to take all your guns. How are you going to stand up to these corrupt, bad police if you don't have any guns? Let's just say this. I'm saying most police are good people, but let's go with your hypotheticals. Let's assume they're as bad as the other side says they are. Wouldn't that be all the more reason you want to keep your guns? Or do you want to get rid of the police that still have to take an oath to the Constitution, that are still bound by our rules of law? Do you want to bring in private contractors instead? Now, you know right now, President Trump, you could argue the most powerful person in the United States. President Trump, if he was sitting right here, he could not stop me from saying what I wanted to on this stream. Do you guys realize that? Literally, the president of the United States, now with very few exceptions, but that's not the type of person I am. You can't threaten people. You can't incite a riot. But other than those few things that I never do anyways, President Trump himself, nor Pelosi, nor Schumer, nor McConnell could stop me from that. Because that's protected in the Constitution, that they shall not tread on, they shall not abolish, they shall not infringe. But Susan can stop me. And there's many things I'd like to say on here that I just can't, or the channel will be gone because it already gets demonetized even when I do follow the rules on a lot of these videos. And I'm sure this stream will be tonight. So be careful for what you wish for when you want to get rid of these bad cops. Because you can end up with the UN. You can end up with private contractors that don't take an oath and that you can't file a federal civil rights case against, and you can't FOIA. And by the way, most of these contractors you see are bad dudes that you don't want to mess with. And you shouldn't have to worry about that. Because we shouldn't be run by street gangs that are getting bribed. And nothing against contractors. Nothing against that. That's a separate point. But I am against contractors running our policing. I'm against the UN coming in and running our policing. And I'll conclude with this. Anyone that really thinks that they're going to abolish our police and just have no rule of law, I would suggest, if you really want to see what that's like, go move to a place called Cambodia, where it's a country that's smaller than most of our states, smaller than a lot of our smaller states. And there's hundreds of factions that all claim to be in rule, and they literally fight each other constantly. And all they do is fight, and all there is death. And it's a really, really sad place. And nobody would want to raise their family in a country like that. And it's happening right now. And you can go to places that don't have rule of law, where people are still getting sold as slaves right now in the year 2020 in the Middle East on planet Earth. So for all of you that say we're just going to get rid of the cops, do you want no rule of law? I suggest a nice vacation to Cambodia. Do you want contractors that don't take an oath? Do you want the UN? I would ask somebody that. What do you want? What do you want? I want everything to be perfect too. I'm not smart enough to figure it all out tonight. Maybe somebody else is, but not me. But all I know is this. Like I said, one more time, I want this to sink in, guys. President Trump, nor Pelosi, nor Schumer could stop me from saying what I want to on the stream, but Susan can. And that's what we get. That's what we get when corporations are given the power to rule people and to act as a separate branch of government. And I don't want to put words in anybody's mouth, but anybody that actually thinks that, I think you're living in a big fallacy. And be very, very careful, because there's an old saying. There's an old saying that says, be careful what you wish for, because it just might come true. And there was a lot of people that bought into this in 1917. They were bought into it. A lot of them were forced to buy into it. Barrel of a gun in their face. Do you buy in or else? And you know what else meant? And they bought into the sickle and the food of plenty. And hundreds of millions of people died. We've had past presidents that have signed the UN Arms Treaty. Now, real Antifa boys, they want their arms. You want Uncle Sugar to sign a contract to let the UN take your guns and then have contractors come and police you? Let's see how your peaceful protest goes then. And that's my view on that. And I'm sure I just earned some thumbs downs from some people. So if you guys still have been here this long and forgot to hit the thumbs up button, come on, guys. All right, I saw a couple super chats pop up here. Rudy Finney, oh boy, Corn Pops is a really bad dude. Come on, man. Yeah, hey, there you go. That might be the answer, right? Corn Pops was a bad dude. Biden was a lifeguard of the pool. He went down to the pool room. He come up with a chain. He took care of old Corn Pops. Maybe Biden will make you safe. Biden will come out on the streets, guys. How about that? Biden, the law and order president, after encouraging the peaceful protests, riots for months, after most of his campaign donating money to bail these rioters, peaceful protesters that kill and hurt people, bailing them out of jail. Biden's people did that, guys. Look it up. He's not denounced it. As far as I know, he supports it because he's never said anything against it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Biden will be out on the street face to face. You won't need police. He'll walk up, and Biden will single-handedly take care of them big bad police for you. And then he'll sign the UN Arms Treaty. We know Pelosi's going to have it. And if Schumer becomes the Senate Majority Leader, they'll sign it. And then y'all can have fun with the blue helmets. Multiple choice. Take your pick. Do you boys want Blackwater or do you want the blue helmets? What do you want? Hey, the sheriff's deputies will all be home at that time. You don't have to worry about them anymore. That is true. I will give the other side that. Yep. How about this, for example? I guarantee you this, guys. If I had a splitting headache, it was so bad, right? I'd probably just take a couple of leave. Okay? But no, I don't want to spend the money for that. That's too much work. So to get rid of my headache, I'm just going to jump out in front of this moving train. Yeah, problem solved. I guarantee you, if you jump out in front of a moving freight train going 100 miles an hour, you'll no longer have a headache. That problem will be solved. So go ahead. Get rid of every police in this country. Problem solved. Get ready for what comes next, because it's going to be the equivalency of that train, if not worse. And that's my opinion. And on your show, you guys can do your opinion. Michael Faltz, good analysis, good show. Thank you, dude. I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. Rudy Fenny, thanks again, dude. He said push-up contest. You dog-faced pony soldier. Fluffy 10mm Jeep guy. I should have a range day for us locals. I wanted to. I was totally going to do it this year. I talked about it all winter. Problem is, Gretchen, my business wasn't allowed to be open for so long. I'm still playing catch up in a bad way from missing the first couple months of the busiest time of year. It sucks. But maybe still. There might still be time, guys. Literally. There might still be time. Bretta Man's in the house. What's happening, Bretta Man? How you doing, buddy? Long-time friend of the channel. I've been half tempted to text you 3 times in the last week, man, but it's always just around your bedtime, so I'm not sure. David Harris says, I will choose none of the above. Go for it if that's the answer. Rockford Ordnance. What's happening, Rockford? Another good channel. How you doing, man? Still need to watch that magazine video you put out. I've been so busy the last 2 days. All I know is Rockford Ordnance, his newest video, he's got this big old, what do you call it, a tub, a bucket, with magazines literally coming out of the top. It looked kind of interesting. JBN Water 2 and Rudy Finney. You know what, JBN? Will you email me? You've emailed me in the past, and I get so many emails, quite frankly. We need to get something going, dude. If you're making plans with Rudy, I definitely like to be in on that with you guys. I know I just invited myself, but I think I've had a standing invitation, though. I'd like to get in on some of that if you guys are getting together. Please, can I come and play too, guys? Come on, please. I'll bring Lamy if I can. I mean, please. No, you guys know what I'm saying. I'm just skimming the chat here, but I think you guys are planning something I'd like to be part of. Yep. Patty Leather, Biden told us to buy double-barrel shotguns. Remember? Everyone buy a DP-12. Did you guys see that funny parody video that I put up in the community section of this channel? It was funny. I have no idea who does that channel. I just thought that one song was funny, though. Speaking of which, on my anytime, Beretta, man, I don't know what your bedtime is. You go to bed earlier than me sometimes. It just depends on the day. The Patriot EDU channel. Go over there, check it out. There's a video that I didn't create, but it's awesome. And I'm going to post it late tonight, if not early tomorrow morning. And it's literally someone else's video, but he put at the end, I want everyone to share this video. Like, I'm giving everyone permission to post it on your channels. It's awesome. So go over there for a video that's from somebody else, but with full permission. He's actually encouraging people to share it. So, yeah. Where's Aunt Jemima? Like I said, Lamy's been consuming, but right here. I still support. I'm just like to change up the scenery a little bit, but still lots of love and support to the families of the woman that was Aunt Jemima that thought it was a disgrace that cancel culture canceled their loved one, their aunt. Anyone that's new to the channel, you can hate because you're going to hate if you want to or not. But I've done a thorough stream fully explaining what this is all about. So, yeah, still lots of support and love to great brand ambassadors and quite frankly, some of the very first civil rights leaders that Aunt Jemima was / stood for, that the families are pretty upset that they canceled. So, yeah, still much love for Aunt Jemima. Much love with Lamy. If you guys are new to the channel, essentially something happened. I don't know how, but Aunt Jemima and Lami became a couple. Okay, I'll just leave it at that. Alan Kunach, I'm not apologizing to people like you think I am. I'm just being fair. But no, I know what you're saying. I do agree with what you said on the second half. I'm not I'm being nice. I like to be nice to people. What can I say, Alan? But no, if they don't like what I say, they can go someplace else. You know what's weird about that, though? You'd think so, but they always still get sucked in. They hate me, then they come back again. It's like, dude, you left. You said you'd never be here again, but they still come back. They still come back. Come back to leave their thumbs down, whatever reason. I don't care. It doesn't really bother me, but they come back. Matthew Melton said, just bought a case of Uncle Ben. He ain't done nothing to deserve that. I know, he seems like a fine gentleman, actually. I've never had anything bad against him either. Let me see here. I'll have to. Brother man's old. You ain't that old. Shoot, you're younger than Mateo. Same age, I think. Hold on. Let me type my email in here. ABN. Hold on. I'm not high tech, guys. I'm not a Tim Pool that has my Lydia sitting next to me with. I got to type this stuff in myself. Hold on a minute. His show is interesting, by the way. He's kind of surprised me. I think Crowder, basically. He changed a lot since him and Crowder got into it. Do you guys agree with me? What do you guys think about Tim Pool, by the way? I can't say I agree with him on everything, but man, he says a lot of stuff I do agree with lately. Which that's good. It's good that he's coming around finally. Here we go. There's my email right there. Oh, right after he says he got it, I type in. Come on, man. Come on, man. Corn Pop was a bad dude. Oh, get a double barrel shotgun. Yeah, I know. Is the Texas Outlaw in here? I thought I saw someone saying hi to him. Where's the Outlaw at? Oh, there he is. Texas Outlaw. Michael Science. How you doing, man? They just can't stay away. I know, dude. You have a channel. Have you ran into the same thing? There's something about it, man. They hate and they hate and they hate, but they can't stay away. That's all right, though. Everybody has a use, I've realized. Believe it or not, everyone plays a small part of the ecosystem, and the haters that won't go away, at least they're useful and boosting up my stats into Susan's algorithm. That's what's funny about it. Susan doesn't care. Someone can be in here hate watching. Okay. Or they could be like, 2A EDU, he's our man. If he can't do it, no one can. I mean, it could be anywhere in between, right? Literally. Doesn't care. So I appreciate the haters helping to boost the analytics and get me on the good side of Susan, because those roses I have to buy her every stream aren't cheap. And I thank Beretta Man for helping to contribute to the bribing Susan fund. Thank you, Beretta Man. I appreciate it, dude. He's been a friend of mine for a long time, guys. Yeah. Joe Morgan says, yeah, I agree. He says, it's good Tim Pool changed his mind after people showed him guns are a great idea. Oh, I know. All of a sudden, now he's like this gun fanatic. He still doesn't know crap about guns, but he's totally into guns. 13th Apostle. I got a use for Adrian G. Is he still around? Is he still relevant? I thought I don't know. I thought he was already sent to school earlier. Is he still? I mean, that's fine. Me and Adrian G. Maybe we'll be friends someday. Maybe we're best friends in the future and we just don't know about it. What do you say, Adrian? Maybe. Probably not. I'd rather be friends with Danielle Woods, though. Because she comes in, hey, you all with a heart. I like people like that. So how's it going, Danielle? Sorry, Adrian. I thought we could be friends, but I'd rather be friends with Danielle instead because she's nicer. So sorry. There's only so much of me to go around, guys. Matthew Melton, Tim Pool just got his first gun. I know. And the times I've heard him talk, he's talking about like wanting to buy all of them now. I think he has more than one now. Like if you watched an episode a week ago, catch up because I think he's Linda's a fan of Tim Pool. Okay. Oh, geez, you guys are funny. Some schools are not open. 13th Apostles reminded me. Dang it, I tried to take someone to school. Our church is open. Can I take them to church? Can I do anything? No, it doesn't matter. No. Me and Danielle are hanging out now, dude. You lost your chance, Adrian. I like nice people. I do. I talk about topics on here that are a little rough sometimes, and the intention is never to put you guys in a mad mood, but man, this stuff's real. It's going on. But I like to be positive. I just want to chill out and hang out with you guys for a few minutes right now. I'm just looking at the comments, so if you guys have any questions, let me know. If you guys want to send me smiley faces with hearts on them, go ahead. I like that. You can send me the crying emojis, like 13th Apostle. My daughter's in school, actually. Some of the schools are open, guys. Just depends. Oh, yeah. Yep. Texas Outlaw, you're right. He says about a year ago, some crackhead tried to break into his house twice. That's why he's all about guns now. Yeah, and that's what I'm trying to say. All these people that want to get rid of all the cops now. Nobody wants to get rid of a bad cop more than me. I'm going to say that again. Nobody thinks that our government is way too overbloated than me. Our government is 10 times, 1,000 times bigger than it should be. Should cops just leave us the heck alone more than they are? Yeah. But until they get rid of all of them like they want, then they're going to be, it's ironic. You can see it so many times if you watch these little films, right? They're causing trouble. They're rioting in the streets. They're hurting people. As soon as one of them get hurt, what's the first thing they always do? They pick up the phone and they call the cops. Now, here's the thing. Even though we're good friends, if I run into a little jam here at the shop, I ain't calling my boy Adrian. Okay? Why would I call him? He's going to come and do something bad to me. Why would I call a guy that wants to do something bad to me? It's quite simple. I'm going to call Lamy. Lamy's in a half-track, my deuce, plenty of other weapons. I mean, we've got M1 Garand, Springfield 1903 A3. I mean, it's not even a debate. But if the cops are going to kill us all, why the heck would I want to call the man that's going to kill me when I'm in a jam on the streets? But they always do. You hear them, call the police, call the police. Whew. I need someone to look up the word irony in the dictionary. Curry beard, thank you. Just because you asked for one. Thank you, Curry. That actually did make me smile, dude. That's funny. Ooh, Rudy Fenny, thanks again, dude. He says, you think Tim Pool being red pilled is crazy? Wait till Biden remembers he is too. I'm Joe Biden and I'm running for the United States Senate. Or I'm Joe Biden and I'm going to beat Joe Biden. Ugh. Poor kids are just as bright as white kids. Yeah, Catholic schools are open and have been for 2 weeks. Yes, sir. Ooh, hold on a minute. We got a new Glock owner in the house. I got some more hearts. Oh, no, he's saying he's in love with his Glock. Okay. Suleiman Muhammad says, finally bought my first Glock. Nice. So we got another Glock tard in the mix, guys. All you Glock people can come in here. Just so you know, if you're new to Glocks, dude, they're called Glock tards. Now, look, calling someone a Glock tard can be a term of affection. And that's how I mean it with you. Or it can be literally fighting words if you run into a CZ guy, okay? Now, me, I'm an everything guy. I like everything, okay? I even like the people on here that hate me. So I'm a rare bird. But you get the certain right amount of Glock guys in the same room with the wrong amount of CZ guys. And now you mix the Taurus guys in the mix. Whew. You guys want to talk about a Civil War scenario? It can get pretty bad. Oh, boy. What did somebody say? BJ Holcomb, Danielle's a rebel. What's Danielle doing now? Danielle's a sweetheart. She's always been nice to me anyways. If she doesn't like you guys, I could care less. Be mean to them all you want, Danielle. Just be nice to me. I'm the only one that needs to be nice right now. Corey Beard, I just saw that again. You're funny, dude. There you go. Daniel De Leon. CZ is life. I told you guys. Anything that goes bang, I like. JBM Water. Yeah. Funas is saying up north, hour and 20 minutes away from nearest response from police. Even if you can contact them, people ransack garage. Yep. And when windows, get outside before they shoot you. Yep. And continue to loot. Get inside, he's saying. I got you. So you're basically in the shoot, shovel, and shut up territory. I get what you're saying. Oh, okay. You like HK more. Okay. Come on, dude. Go along with it, man. I'm trying to start a Glock CZ thing. Come on, man. I'm trying to get a little conflict here before we end. I'm joking, guys. Denny's plant-based journey. I'm Joe Biden, and I don't remember my message. Ain't that the truth? Ain't that the truth? Rockford Ordnance says, funny. Every time a cop shoots someone, they always seem to have a gun in their hand. What is it about these guys? Do they think they can outdraw the cops? I don't know. I think it's something to do with that analogy of your head hurts, so you jump in front of a train. Ain't got no headache no more. I mean, I know that sounds kind of stupid, but it kind of seems like you don't really think about what's going to happen tomorrow. Mauser 24, shout out to Mauser. I don't know if you saw it earlier, but still much love and support to the family. That's quite sad that their aunt, their relative, because Aunt Jemima was real people. They're upset that she was canceled, guys. I'm still standing for those families and for the great advancements in civil rights that some of the real ladies that were Aunt Jemima did achieve in this country. And there's been thorough explanations on the channel before about my views on Aunt Jemima. Michael Science wants a 1983-03. If it wasn't for Susan, dude, your wish could be my command, man. Like, let's just say 6 feet that way. I can't, though, man. You remember the good old days, Michael, back when you guys, look, guys that are somewhat newer to the channel, if you go back a year ago or before Susan, okay? This is what we used to do on these streams. We'd say, hey, man, you got a 1903. I'd say, hold on a minute, dude. And I'd grab it. Or what about this AK? Rockford Ordnance would usually ask for an AK, you know. I used to be able to go grab them, and we'd literally show the guns in the streams and do reviews. You can't do that anymore. Because like I said earlier, Congress can pass no law, but Susan can and does. So, Jim's in here. Glock all day. Philly, what? I told you guys. Oh, geez, this is funny. VTP STTU. I'm Joe Biden, and I sniffed this message. Oh, that's funny, but it's gross. But it's funny. Segs are the bomb, too. Glock. Come on, where's my Taurus people in here? Masterpiece Arms Mac 10 clone. So boxy. I do have a Mac 10 clone. I have the VMAC that was made by Velocity Arms. It's pretty cool. Nice little range toy, you know. What's Beretta Man doing in here? I'm trying to find Sean Morrissey. Thoughts on the DP12 and the new Glock P80 Gen 1? Glock P80 Gen 1? I must be behind the times. I don't know about that. I guess I have some research to do after the stream tonight. I mean, I know about the Glock P80. Are you saying there's a polymer 80 of the original Gen 1 Glock? If there is, that'd be pretty cool because I have a couple Gen 2s and I like the ergos of those. I'm not a big fan of the pistols that have the finger grooves. I know some of you guys, that's your favorite feature. I'm not a huge fan of it though. So, Let's see here. Yes, Guerrero M. Hammers and knives kill way more people than guns. Ban blunt objects. Yeah, I mean, if you want to go down their line of logic, I see the sarcasm in that post. I agree with you. I agree with you sarcastically. That's interesting. Orion Fixer. What's happening, Orion? Good to see you here. I know you're usually here, but good to actually see you. You know what I meant. If you hold up your hand, I'll hold up a pistol to the screen like you're holding it, about as close as you'll be able to handling hardware. Okay, so everybody take the gun that you'd like me to show. So we're going to show a Springfield 1903. All right, I'm holding it. Just imagine. Now you have to hold up your real Springfield 1903 in front of yourselves, but pretend my hands are holding on to it. Oh, boy, he's right. That is about as close as we're going to be able to get, though. Or I can go over to another platform and do these instead, but they don't allow streams, so that sucks. JB and Water 2, ban bus and, yeah, and rental trucks at this point. Yes, sir. Yeah, why not? Let's just ban everything. We'll just sit there and, I don't know. We'll sit there with our hammer and sickle, and we'll feed each other. And we'll be industrious. Oh, wait, we can't have hammers and sickles. The sickle's a knife, and the hammer is a blunt object. How are we going to feed ourselves and build things if we can't even have a hammer and a sickle? This strategy does self-implode on itself pretty quick, guys. Pretty darn quick. Okay, hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. Am I missing something here? What's up with this? Is there a Gen 1? It's a remake of the original, yes. And it comes in an old school box. Is there anybody that's rich out there that wants to send one of those to the channel? No, I'm joking. No, let me know where to find one, though. You can't put links to gun sites on here, Susan. But Susan's rules. But if you can just tell me the name of a place or email me, I'd like to see what the options are. Maybe I have money to buy one. Matthew Mountain, you're holding it wrong. Jeez. I need someone to help me here. Where's Danielle at? Danielle can be my my gun model. She can hold up on her end the guns or the hammer and sickle for me. And then Susan won't ban me. They'll just come after her account. But no, they won't come after her account if she's holding it on the other end. All right. Joe will spoon feed us. JB and Water says, geez, oh, Pete. Is there seriously a Glock Gen 1 Polymer 80? Does it have like the original grip on it and everything, or does it have like that sandpaper texturing? Hold on. Hold on. I got to Google this, guys. Is there seriously a P80? Where have I been? I'm slipping, guys. I'm spending too much time buying barrels for my Tauruses. Ooh. Yeah, the Gen 1 Glock 17 is back. Back to the future. The limited edition Lipsy's exclusive firearm. Okay, this sounds expensive, guys. When they say the word exclusive, this is kind of a shoestring budget channel, but hold on. We have all dreamed of, this is from TFB. We have all dreamed about having our own time machine. Some of us would travel back to witness historical events. Visit with distant ancestors, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Now, hold on a minute. But for me, one of those guns would be a low serial number, new in box, Glock Gen 1 G17. Today, Lipsy's and Glock have offered us the next best thing, a classic edition Glock P80 that takes you back to where it all started. Wow. And then they're explaining I'm not going to be able to afford this. This is saying limited edition. Can any of you guys afford this? Oh, $700. It looks good, though. I would like to have one. Wow. $700. Well, let's see here. Should I get a Birdan 2 rifle from the 1800s or a Glock Gen 1? Now I have decisions to make. Comes in a Tupperware box. That may make it worth it. It's still $700, though. I don't know. What do you guys think? 45 Gap. We've got some 45 Gap fans in the house. I'll tell you something nice about 45 Gap, though. I will tell you this. Everyone's hands are shaped different. Well, my hands have the best shape. When I grab onto like a Glock 21, a 45 ACP, the grip's too long front to back. It's just too blocky for my taste. 45 Gap, however, you're getting it down into that Glock 17-22 size. So, Glock, yeah, the 45 Gap does have its purpose, right? Cat's Cars and Ringtail. What's going on, man? Oh, he was ripping on 45 Gap. Okay, I guess I just started trouble with cats. I thought you were actually giving it props, but whatever. I don't think it's that dumb of an idea. It makes sense. because there were certain, at that time, okay? At that time, hold on, cats. At that time, keep in mind, there were some police departments that mandated 45. You know, it was still in the mentality, which there's nothing wrong with that. 45, 2 world wars, bigger bullet, bigger hull. Look, there's tons of arguments here, but if they were mandating 45 and I was an officer, I'd rather have a 45 gap in my hands than a 45 ACP. The Glock 21 is a brick. Now, some of you with big old long hands, you might love it. Big fingers, etc. That's totally fine. That's a personal decision. But it does make sense. It does definitely make sense, the 45 gap. With that said, in all fairness, Cats, Cars, and Ringtail Gang, which is a good dude, and I do like him. I do like you, Cats. He has a completely opposite opinion. Okay, so he says it's gotten beyond terrible. Good night, Glock. 45 gap sucks. All right. I think he's joking with me. I hope he's joking. At least tell me you're joking, Cats. Come on, man. Come on, man. Don't make me get corn pops after you. Matthew Mountain, you ever heard of trigger control? With what? Actually, yeah. I like that. Let's see. MI777, KE777, Mikey77, however you say it. Probably make a great YouTube channel, Cats and Glocks. Are you still here, Cats? Let's change your name. I think we should take a vote. Should it be Cats and Cars or should it be Cats and Glocks? I like that channel, actually. I'd like to see that soon. Cats and Glocks, Ringtail Gang. I like it. What's up, Threaded for my pleasure? How you doing, man? You're just getting in on the Glock debate. I mean, apparently I'm making enemies tonight. I'm literally saying Glocks are cool with me. They're not even my favorite, by the way, but they're cool. I like them. And I said, I actually understand a purpose for 45 gap. You could have thought that I tried to take somebody's firstborn away from them. Jem says Susan will allow a P80 Gem 1 review. I'd like to get one for the channel. I would, but will she allow it? I don't know. I did a P80 review on here, but it was a serialized one, so it wasn't technically a 8.0. If you word it in certain ways, yes, you can, but you're not technically supposed to review. But we can figure out something. I know for a fact if it was finished off screen, then it could be shown. If you guys don't believe me on this stuff, literally look it up. Type into Google, type in YouTube gun policy, and you'll see it. But here's the problem. There's this whole list of things, and then it says this list is not all-inclusive and includes many other things. And then something like at our sole discretion at any time, subject to change at any time, additional undisclosed terms and conditions may apply, lawyer. There's that kind of disclaimer at the end too, of course. So JB and Water, think Cats loves you, so think pass for now. I think he loves me still. All I said is I think 45 gap served a purpose. Nobody could hate me for that, could they? Chris Builder, what's happening, Chris? How you doing, man? Another good local guy hanging out. How you doing, bud? I need to hang out with some of you people. How do we do this? Does anyone know a place where a few of us could hang out where we don't away from Gretchen? Right, Barada Man? We don't want Gretchen. Barada Man, we got to figure out something too, because I was just talking to Jeremy not that long ago, and me and Jeremy's been looking forward to a bonfire with you. I know you're across the country, but we'll have to figure that out too. We're supposed to have a campfire this summer. At least the 3 of us, if not more. JB and Water, likes are at 231 now. I appreciate it, guys. Sure, there's some dislikes too. I had no dislikes at all, guys. No dislikes. Even that other guy, my friend Adrian. I met a good friend tonight in here. His name was Adrian. I have no doubt he wants to be my friend. However, No thumbs downs until I said 45 gap. You'd think it was fighting words. Who has a 45 gap that I can borrow to do a review on? I want to do a review on one just to do it. Ooh, Tyler says, come to the UP. Gretchen stays in the lower. Yeah, don't even get me tempted, dude. I have some good comebacks for that. Some good comebacks, Susan. Defensively, some good comebacks. But I know we are supposed to meet this. Like, I still want to meet up, guys. The world's largest gun show, Rockford saying, in Tulsa, Oklahoma in November. We could all hang out there. I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it all the way to Oklahoma. I do like Okies from Muskogee, though. I do like me some old Merle Haggard. I will say that. Funa says, sadly, nobody will stop paying income tax because the banks own everything they have. And you're right, and it is sad. I agree with both. Paul Sharon probably past Adrian's bedtime. Oh, man. That's all right. I don't know if she's gone now, but it was amazing. He was literally sitting there crying and whining. I look up. They call her Danielle. They call her many things. And she's beautiful in every way because she pops up and there's just a heart there. And I'm like, somebody still loves me. So we can keep going on. All right. David Harris. Oh, you guys are cracking me up. I got to get off of here, but I'm going to hang out for like one more minute. He says the left already has enough campfires at their peaceful protests. Oh, man. Fluffy 10mm Jeep guy. Where are you at, dude? How local are you? I know you're local, but I need to come up with a secret Michigan list. How do I do this without... I don't want the Anti-Defamation League to get involved. That is discriminatory. But I do want to be... I do kind of want to discriminate, guys. I want to have a top secret little handshake for the Michigan guys. Does that make sense? Where it's like, look, you were all cool with each other, but you, quite frankly, you all ain't good enough to quite get the secret handshake. But I don't want to, you guys know, I'm messing with you. But no, I know some of you guys are actually pretty darn local here. And I do appreciate the generosity. I don't want to ruin it, but a good dude, good friend of the channel is actually sending me something to review in the mail tomorrow, I believe. He's really helping me out with something that I really need to review. So, yeah. Guerrero says, I dislike Glocks, but Cats hates them with a passion. Oh, yeah. I don't think anyone has that much hate in their heart, though, for literally a brand, right? That you said you understand why a cartridge existed. I don't think so. I don't think so. Mont Parker has a 45 gap. Is Monten here tonight? Mont Parker, that's another nice channel. He has a 45 gap. Glock 38. Thanks for reminding me, Mateo. JB and water. Could we really do that? Pillbox? Here's the thing, though. Like, I know you guys have invited me to some of your private ranges, and I've been, you know, Pillbox, for example. I've been to your house for several reasons, but there's that, and then there's, you know, how about some of the fellas? I shouldn't talk about this too much in public, really, because this is you guys' private property, but it looks like if you guys think we can still pull this off, yeah, I think we might be able to do this. I think so. Matthew Melton, y'all gonna have a secret clubhouse too? Well, duh, but it's a secret, so I have to stop talking about it on here. Come on, man. Come on, man. Corn Pops was a bad dude. First, we're gonna have a clubhouse. Unsweetened iced tea. Psh. Come on, one of these Southern boys is gonna finally get it. Get with the tea, boys. I'll break you guys of that sweet tea one of these days. Just keep coming into the 2A EDU channel. I'm gonna learn you boys how to make some tea. All right. Ypsilanti, that is very close. Graham was Adrian, like if he passed away. Oh man, Adrian's actually becoming a verb. We can now say they pulled an Adrian. That person is Adrian-esque. Is that person an Adrian? I'm going to pull the Adrian. You know you've made it in life when you've become a verb. My man has officially become a verb. Congratulations, young man. The chest hair will come next, then the testicles will drop. But you've become a verb, so you're well on your way, boy. Daddy will be proud. Chris Build It. Can we locals get set up on base camp? Send me some emails, guys. Humphrey Dog. The password is corn pop. The password is Adrian. The secondary password is corn pop. Oh, come on, Texas Outlaw. I thought we was friends. You know what happened to me tonight? I've known some of these guys a long time. I mean, I've known the Texas Outlaw as long as any of you, really. I came in here with friends tonight. I leave. And I leave and Adrian's now a verb. People hate me. All because of the way I drink my tea. Hold on, guys. Tastes good. Tastes good, boys. And the 45 gap, which is not weaker than 9. And it's more ergonomic in your hands. Do I have any friends left? Mateo, even my mods are turning on me. Where's Linda? Linda. Do I have any? Linda, help. I used to have 2 mods. I started off with 2 mods in here tonight. Now I've got 1 mod that just turned on me. Mike, okay, there you go. M77KE says, I'll take 25 ACP over a stick or a rock. I brought up like 7 mouse guns to the shop. Does anyone, I'm going to ask you guys this, and I'm going to get off here. Does anyone want to see a mouse guns video? Thank you, Linda. Thank you. I needed to see a beautiful lady pop up in the chat. Thank you. Do you still have my back on the tea? I know you don't drink sweet tea. Mad Dasher. Yeah, Matthew Mountain, you're using the word tea very loosely. Tea can mean many things. It can. It can. It can mean whatever you want it to mean. And I don't mean to flirt with people, but Linda, I can't help but to, just a little bit. You guys don't blame me, do you? I can't help myself. I'm a good boy, but I'm not that good. All right. You guys are getting funny. Is there lemonade in that sweet tea? No, but there is lemon in it. Yes. Yes, on the mouse gun video. Okay. You guys are sure? Yes, yes. When I say mouse gun, I'm talking like teeny ones. Like, you know, like a couple little 22s, 25s, a couple little 32s. I don't know. I kind of like that kind of stuff. Troll 2201. Come on, man. I thought we was boys. Come on, man. He likes sweet tea too. All right. We're going to leave on that note. Rudy Finney with another super chat. Thanks, dude. Gotta run. Be safe, everyone. Catch you next time. I'll be in touch. Likewise, man. Thank you. I appreciate it. Well, wait a minute. Somebody just put Paul Sharon, Adrianism. Life's a bee. I don't cuss on this channel, guys. Life's a bee. And then the private police will shoot you. Ooh, that's good. I hope if he's still watching, he can at least laugh. I hope he can laugh. Like, we're seriously being nice to the dude. We're being as nice as you possibly could be. Adrian is the male form of Karen. Also a compliment. Yeah. Texas tea, black gold, that is. Ooh, lemon. I heard they save that for the communist meetings. You ain't even from Michigan, dude. You don't get the secret handshake. Get out of here, man. Come on, man. Get out of here. Who the hell is Linda? Who the hell or what is Adrian? What is a corn pop? Isn't this an old moonshiner? Oh, geez. All right, take care, Beretta, man. I'm getting out of here, guys. I have the CMMG 22 kit, Chris, and I've done a video on it. And I also have a 22 AK kit. I need to hurry up and get out there. All right, I've had fun tonight. I hope you guys did too. We talked about some serious stuff that I'd like to talk about more if you guys want to. But then we just kind of hung out and chilled, which is what I really wanted to do too. So I had fun being with you guys and just hanging out, and I hope you guys did too. More videos definitely coming. You guys have a great holiday weekend, and yeah, grill one and drink one from me. Have some fun, guys. No rum in the tea, troll. That's for you guys. You guys can have the drinks this weekend for me. Let me know how your weekend was next week. Seriously, be safe, everybody. Corn Pops was a bad dude. All right, I'm out of here. What's up, Mad Dasher? How you doing, man? I'll go over and take a look afterwards. I got you, dude. I'll take a look. All right, I'm out of here, guys. Keep your spirits up. Oh, wait, Liberty not licensed. I want to read this. Keep your spirits up, gentlemen. The rest of the good people need you. God bless you all. I completely agree with what you're saying, man. And I forgot till just now I can pin it to the screen. Look at that. Modern technology. Night, Matt Morrison. Nice, Matthew Melton. Come on, Matt. There are too many Matts. Humphrey Dog 111. Good night, man. Daniel DeLeon, as always, dude. 13th Apostle. We got Bill Alexander. David Harris. Mikey 777. Michigan Watch. Guero M. You guys can leave. I'm just saying bye. Come on. I like to say bye to you guys. Terry Strobel, Paul Sharon, Mill Burry, Lan Holt. Is that my best Joey impression? No, dude. It was my absolutely worst one. BJ Holcomb, peace, love. Rodney Hernandez, Funes, Mad Dasher. All right, you guys all rock. Orion Fixer as always. Rockford Ordnance. All right, Mauser 24. I can keep going for hours because you guys are cool, but I'm out of here. Time to go make some more tea. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.